Welcome to another mega exciting 5 minutes auto pairing. Let's try and play maybe a solid system as well, a relatively London system, not quite the London system, but bishop g5, a solid triangle in the centre, I think. Oh, getting rid of my light square bishop. Shall I be annoyed with that? Okay, I'll put the bishop on g3 if I can. And sit tight for a bit. Oh, the exchange of queens now. Blimey. Okay, I don't really want to play e4. I want to sort of just keep solid. I think e4 is going to just take an a5 here. Try and use the a file. I don't know if a6 is worth. I can try and hold that pawn. Mind you, can try and gang up on it. Oh, immediately he gangs up on it. That wasn't clever, was it? Ah. Mind you, I'm getting a7 after at the moment. No, he gangs up with the knights as well. No, this pawn is a liability. It's d takes here, trying to sort of save the situation with bishop c7. I give up the bishop. Get some time to defend. Now, these knights, what can I do with them? Knight e4, just trying to generally create some weaknesses, like f5, trying to provoke some weaknesses. Actually, rook, I don't know, rook a5, trying to put pressure on b5. That could be handy. Okay, so b4, c4. Actually, okay, on b4, is c4 actually useful? I'm not entirely sure. There's rook b5. Rook b5 maybe. Interesting. And get ready for, if I play king h2, rook a6, rook b8, unless there's going to be a check on this diagonal. It would have been nice to have, like, say, g4 and king g2 instead, away from this guy. Or just, I don't know, simple rook b7 or rook c6, does it matter? If I get a7, I get rook to the 7th. I think g4, king g2, in any case, is fun to have here. So g4, king g2. Okay. Knight b6, I know it's going to be a pain. Rook b7 immediately. If he takes that a pawn. So rook c8, then what? Mind you, I think that is a pain, this, because my rooks are working on that a file quite well. Right, so now g4, unless there's anything better. Knight c5, knight c5. Although on knight b6, knight c5, There's bishop c5. There's always bishop c5. It's getting a bit short on time though. Just king g2 here for a moment. It's weakened d5. If I take on b4 and then b3, would that actually do anything? Knight c5, bishop c. There's always bishop c5. Can't use that c4 square. If I take and just rook d1, maybe, yeah, I should just take for rook d1. Maybe takes and then rook c7. Alright, if I play b3 for a moment just to stop the knight using c4, if that's any meaning at all. And try and see, would he play g6 here? Otherwise knight f5, yeah. But he has weakened f6, so maybe g5 next. g5 or knight d2 to c4. Knight d2 to c4 might be interesting, although f5 looks as though my knight's going to get kicked. And king f3 here. On f5, take knight g3, and king f3. I want to try and get knight c4 in, if possible. Okay, so I take, and then, mind you, there's things like e4 check here, but f5 is a bit weaker. I've got this knight coming to c4 still. What does he do about f5? Okay, so knight c4, mind you, oh, the a7 pawn's on here. Why can't I just take that? Just get my a pawn going. So knight c4. I can get behind this pawn if he doesn't exchange sack for a moment. Knight e3, okay, I can take that and then b4. Rook c2. Take on a3, rook d2. There's knight h1 there. There's bishop h4. Maybe simple is just to take on e7, then rook a3. There's rook b5, a7. Oh, just rook a3, rook c2, rook e7. Then knight takes f5 and knight d4 to block. This takes an e3. I think I'll do this. So rook c2, rook e7. Surely
check.
Taking out these pawns gives my king f3 anyway. Okay, so a7.
Check.
Win this e4 pawn. That looks like enough for the exchange.
Check.
Yeah, it just looks like f4 check and rook h6.
Check.
Looks good. I've got my passed pawns here. It should be enough. So knight f5 protects e3. I'm just taking knight d4. I like my passed pawns. I don't want to
check
run out of time particularly on this position. Get to play b5. Should be easier to play.
Time warning. Check.
And king e5 and f6. It's knight f5. Simple knight f5 to try and queen. Yeah, okay. I think it's too much this position anyway for him, but yeah, I think it was an interesting game. So what was happening with this A pawn earlier? So I played a solid sort of game here, except for my use of the A pawn, the mission to lose it. Apparently it's about equal dc5, c4 apparently. This is still okay for white. Ah. Okay, this was kind of, the moves seem okay. Oh, it's about equal again. Knight f4, good idea. H4 was mentioned there. King f3 was actually suggested by the engine in that position. That's interesting. And now white's a little bit better.
Check.
After this. Just take on a7, he's just giving me that a pawn. That's a real dangerous thing to do. So I could have just done a7 there. A rook a5 apparently is a good move. This is okay as well. Yeah, this just looks good as well. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.